So I have two choices of hills on this island. I just did one, which is the Wolf Street Hill, which I think is the tallest hill on the island. And if my calculations are correct, or if Strava's calculations are correct, I only need to run that hill 2,785 times to equal the amount of climb in Hard Rock. Piece of cake. Okay, here's better news. I found a taller hill, and I only have to run this one 1,000 times to equal the Hard Rock elevation. Hi guys. So a few weeks ago, I made a video for you about running down hills, and I got a lot of good feedback on that. Some people told me that it was really helpful to get tips on how to run safely down hills, and that's great. But I realized I haven't talked to you about how to run up hills, so I want to do that now. When I have hill training on your schedule, typically what I'm talking about is running up hills. So the first thing to do is figure out a good hill to use. Now, I'm here in Florida, and I don't have mountains to climb like I do when I go out to Colorado in the summers. So I've hunted around, and the hill that I've found where I can do hill work is about 33 feet of climb. That's not a lot, but that's enough if I charge up that hill. So the first thing to do is go find a hill that is going to give you a challenge, but is not like a mountain or something that's not runnable. Preferably, you want something that's got a road or sidewalk on it so that you know the grade isn't too steep for you to run on. If you go to something that's so steep that you can't actually run, hiking is great, but hiking works different muscles than what we want to work on in your hill training. Once you've found the hill that you're going to use, I want you to go to the top of it and then walk down about 50 feet or so. That's a good starting point for the first time you run this hill. So you walk down about 50 feet and then put something there. Put your hat, set down your water bottle, something so that you know that's going to be the starting point. And then practice by walking up the hill and see what you've got. Make sure there's nothing that's going to cause a problem for you to trip over. And notice that when you get to the top of the hill, you're going to continue going for a little bit just so that your momentum can slow down. Next thing I want you to do is walk back to the start and do a little bit of warm-up. You can do some acceleration gliders, cadence drills, that sort of thing. And then when you're ready, from that spot that you've marked 50 feet from the top, you're going to run up the hill. Treat it like you would an acceleration glider. Start off with short strides, fast turnover, and ease into it until toward the top of the hill you're putting in a really good surge. This is one of those times when it's okay to do some huffing and puffing, when you can be out of gas when you get to the top. Turn around and walk or jog back down. Do it again. The first time you do these hills, 4 would be sufficient. That would be fine. You've got the feel of it. Then when you come back the following week, do more or go further down the hill. Over the weeks of training, you might work up to doing as many as 10 hill repeats, and you might be going 2 or 3 times as far as that first time. In fact, if the hill is about like it is where I live, you could do the entire hill several times to get that workout in. Once you've gotten to the point that you can do 10 good hill surges in training, you don't need to do them every week. In fact, most of the time on the schedules that I've written for people, once we get up to 10 hill repeats, I'll start putting in only 4 or 5 hill repeats every other week or so. That's enough to help maintain the strength that you've built with the hill training and the adaptations that you want so that you can be successful at running hills. Also, once you get to the point that running up the hills is more comfortable and you feel strong and powerful doing that, then you can really integrate the downhill running as well so that you've got a full series of workouts going up and down that hill. I hope you can find some great hills to run and train on. If you need any help with anything I've covered in this video or any of the other videos that I've been putting out, please let me know. Chris@jeffgalloway.com. Oh no. It looks like if I finish 100 miles before I get all of my climbing in, I won't get credit for the extra climbing or distance. And again, based on my calculations, I'll have run about 195 miles by the time I get to 33,000 feet of climb.